Hello everyone, and welcome to an exciting video and to a very, very exciting location. As behind these doors just here, these ones, in case you're in any doubt, is our new headquarters. Lots of stress, lots of trial and error, lots of back and forth, lots of solicitors, lots has gone into getting this over the line. But as of Friday last week, it is over the line, which means that we have big plans to follow. We have plans to level up content here for you, my lovely viewers. We have plans to level up both businesses. We have plans to level up our own training, and we have plans to just have a good time and activate the fantastic community that we have all over the world a little bit more through this space here. So if you're as excited as I am, then please come indoors so I can show you what it looks like now, what we plan for it to look like, and what we plan for the space to be, and then the sort of challenges that bridge the gap between those two things, as there's plenty of them. So come inside. Another opening door reveal this early on into the video. I think we all know what to expect here. Yes, this is indeed an MTV Cribs style video. So this is the entrance vestibule, I guess. And in honesty, we're not quite sure what we want to do with this space just yet. The long-term vision for it is that we're probably going to make it a bit of a showroom for when we're hosting more events in here. We will have merchandise, which will be going live very soon at www.omnia-performance.com, and is available in the description down below so that you can familiarize yourself with the website before obviously grabbing some very soon. So we'll have merchandise up there, we'll have rails in here, and we'll probably just use it as storage for the time being. But beyond that, there isn't much function to this space for us as of right now. So one of the main things with this space is that it's something that allows us and the team to grow over the years, gives us something that we can spill over into if needed, and we can get a bit creative with if we ever need to do so. But light space, blinds are still closed, so it could be lighter, but this is essentially room number 1. And heading into the main area, we will move immediately this way just because Johnny is on a call in there and I don't want to railroad it too much, but plenty of space, and for an expanding team, and we plan to expand over the entire term of the lease that we are in on this place. There is lots of room for us to grow with less murder chairs as part of the plan ongoing. So Johnny's office is in there, essentially one of 2 private offices that are available. Mine is over that direction, I'll talk you through it in a sec. He's in there, he's gonna do with that spot as he sees fit, so he can design it for himself. And then in here, we plan to put sort of a row of desks for the team. So editor, videographer, we've got customer service, we've got lots of stuff going on, and a few more hires going out very soon. So that will be in this row here, and this will become the hub, as it were. Don't know what's going on those shelves. That's up to the hub, I guess. And then we have managed to finally get rid of my rash Costco purchase from December 2021 and take it out of the garage at home and bring it here for employee benefits, as it was, yes, causing some friction in my relationship at home with Erin, as the child in me that bought a basketball machine at Costco was essentially in trouble. So moving on, we have a fairly well fitted out kitchen. The fridge is in a dire state, but we're obviously just gonna get that replaced. Here's a drinks fridge that I brought from home. Pretty much plug and play. Place needs a little bit of a clean, but we don't expect to be doing a huge amount to this other than making it functional for what we need, which will be storing food, making sure that we've got decent nutrition for ourselves and all of the team involved. Probably just gonna get an air fryer in terms of cooking utensils, not gonna bother with a hob. We can bring food in, stick it in the fridge, get a big fridge of drinks and things here and make sure that everyone's covered and go from there. So nothing too revolutionary. As you can see, the office is generally clean, plug and play, the walls are white. There's not too much that we need to do with it, practically speaking. Obviously, we need to add furniture, we need to sex the place up a little bit, but as it stands, we moved in on Friday. Today is Tuesday, and yeah, aside from the furniture that we brought from home that could do with a big clean, it's in pretty good nick. So Odie has already given himself a dog bed. He brought that here himself, and these cushions are from a sofa that is currently through there that we're going to get cleaned before putting just here. And I believe he decided to use those as beds as well. In here, we're gonna have a sort of meeting table that will function as a bit of a dining table, so to speak, for a little while. But whilst the team is still a size that warrants it, we may make it a table tennis or pool table to fit with the employee benefits / perk situation that we have going on with my rash Costco purchase history. So time will tell. Moving on into my humble abode just here, we have a big open light space with not much in it at the moment, another murder chair for good measure. So anyway, desk I brought from home. So actually at home, huge part of this office space for me personally. If you're new to the channel, you might not have much context. If you're familiar around here, you'll know that everything's sort of quite pillar to post, quite full on, quite 24/7, which means that I have removed all working features other than the home gym from the house because I really personally need a better. Okay, one of the extractor fans needs a little bit of tinkering with. Anyway, I need a better home, work, life, boundary, balance, separation because I find it very, very difficult to switch off. I'm already 2 days deep having done 13, 14 hours in here, whether it's been fitting stuff out, whether it's been here, whether it's been sort of in the area, and then driving home, I already feel a lot more switched off just knowing I'm going home for the sake of home rather than to just get on with more work tasks. So for me, having all of my work stuff that I've taken from the office at the house that ultimately the businesses have been built from and having them here was actually quite weird for me because I looked at my office at home this morning and kind of just skimmed over the fact that it had served its purpose and we're now here, which is mad exciting. Lots of space to add things in here. I'm not completely sure what I'm going to do with the place. There'll be artwork, there'll be decoration, there'll be acoustic paneling because it is a bit echoey in here. I'll probably get a vinyl name tag or something in there for nothing other than vanity reasons. To be honest, everybody in here knows who me and Johnny are. We will just put our names on the glass because we can, okay? So if anyone has any creative ideas as to what to do with the space, please do comment down below because I'm not all that interior design inclined, but we are gonna get a lot of decorative stuff that's brand specific and sort of personal to us over the next couple of months. And this is my personal hub within our hub. So welcome, one and all. You'll be seeing a lot more of me in this here. So get familiar. Moving on. That's pretty much the office space in terms of the bread and butter of it. Bits lying around. It's obviously not a complete shell. We brought some bits in over the weekend because Ed was a selfish bastard and decided to go through to Glasgow to go to a gig and have some pints rather than film this on Friday afternoon. So here we are with some stuff in the shell of the unit that is not quite a shell of a unit as we've added some things, but we'll let it slide. We have bathroom 1. We have bathroom 2, which apparently needs some work done on the handle. And we have bathroom and, oh, that's very close, hello. We have bathroom and shower 3, which is very useful. That was a big part of our search, was having a shower available to us. There was another office space that we were looking at a little bit further outside of town because key detail, this is about 10 minutes walk from the city centre, which is even better news for those of you that might be able to visit in the future. Will you? Who knows? We'll answer those questions very soon. Some storage in here. And that's pretty much the office space. So, close that. Come on down to, didn't quite get my hip hinge right there. I'll try that again. All arse. Yes, good, better. That's what kettlebell swings are for, by the way, if you weren't aware. Functional fitness. So, result of a wild Costco trip, supplies and general things, etc. all here. This racking was here when we arrived, which is good because we can just use this for general, what's the phrase again? Sundries. Is that it?
Yeah.
Sundries? Subsistence? Sundries, yes. Miscellaneous goods. So in here is going to become the Modern Mind and Omnia Performance podcast studio, which is very exciting because having a dedicated space in terms of practicality, functionality, usability, and timetabling is going to be massive for us because coordinating diaries with myself and guests remotely or in person, being able to just have access to our studio whenever we need it, knowing we're not going to need to worry about noise, knowing we're not going to need to worry about whether anyone else is on the Wi-Fi at the same time. All of the things that have gone into the operation of the podcast from the Modern Mind point of view up until this point can be fixed with this. And then we're going to be relaunching the Omnia Performance podcast as soon as this is up and running. We're going to be having a lot more guests in person. We're going to be doing a lot more regular recordings because Johnny and I can just sit here and chat away freely because we can turn up, press record, and do that as often as we like. Whereas previously, using studios, etc., there was a lot more logistical considerations. So acoustic paneling is going to be going all over the walls. We're probably going to build a false ceiling here. We're going to cover that because that makes a bit of a whining noise. And that is the only thing that we really need to consider in here. It's not particularly a sort of high standard wall, which means acoustic paneling can go into it pretty simply, and we can sort of take it on and off at the end of lease pretty easy. And we'll make the floor a nicer color, as the deep shade of red that it currently is not all that much of a vibe. And yeah, this will become the Modern Mind. If you haven't yet subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do. It is in the description for you down below. And Omnia Performance podcast home, effectively. So yeah, it's a bit difficult to imagine it. I'm really bad at being able to actually conceptualize what things are going to look like until I've seen it. So when it comes to Erin sending me links to quirky bits of furniture, I'm very much one of those people that needs to see it in the wild to be able to even comprehend what's going on. So here we are. This is effectively going to become camera, equipment, storage, plugs, charging, just kind of a bit of a storage room, but we've got loads and loads of plugs. So from an electricals point of view, we'll be taking things in and out of here and just making sure that everything is up to speed. So everything will have its own charging station and stuff like that. And for those of you that are wondering, wow, lots of camera equipment under one roof, let's rob them. No, there's lots of very sophisticated security and additional keypad security just here. So if you get any ideas, don't bother. I mean, obviously don't bother anyway, but especially don't bother, because not only will you be trying to rob me, which is bad vibes, but also you will fail miserably. So just bear that in mind. Anyway, that will be storage and just a bit of a chuck stuff away and have it organized in here. Nothing too exciting. Probably going to keep the floor the same color because we don't really need it to look sexy. But what we do need to look sexy, and what will look very sexy very soon, is this kickflip. I didn't land it, but you get the picture. And this is going to be a private gym facility for us, which means that not only can we host events for the first time in our own space, but we can train here, we can film here, we can spend more time together, Johnny and I actually training together, which is fantastic for us from a psychological point of view, for our mental health, for our just general business day-to-day operations. But it means that we can host events, we can host seminars, we can host open days, we can host our existing athletes in here, and we can really make this space something very, very cool. It's not going to be a members gym, it's not going to be open to the public, which means that we can sort of play around with what is fun, what is exciting, and what is most functional for us as a business operationally. So loosely speaking, we are gonna have the most amount that we can using the space as effectively as we can. We're currently using it as a big parking garage, but that's mainly just because the lane outside is a bit of a nightmare. Already got a few bits of equipment in from the house. Thank God I've got rid of the Atlas stones, because Atlas stones and residential property do not go hand in hand. Let that be a lesson to all of you. Arguably it was an obvious lesson beforehand, but I learnt it quite recently myself, so let me impart that to you oh so generously. But this whole section here, we're probably looking at squat rack, cable machine in the middle of them, storage. We are going to have a strip of turf here. We are going to have equipment that we can wheel in and out down this section here, as the turf will probably be along this line just here. We are then going to have bits of equipment in this row, sort of just on the edge of the rack behind me, behind the camera, behind you rather, just here. And then from this point, we will have a few bits tucked away. Down there, we're gonna have dumbbells, kettlebells, etc., benches, and then we'll see what space we're left with, to be honest. But we just need this to be a functional space for us, somewhere that we can host online seminars, exercise tutorials, all that stuff. Optimize it for what we are looking to create, what we are looking to produce, how we are looking to add value to our existing Omnia Performance athletes. But more importantly, if we get open gyms in, we want multiple stations to be able to work at the same time so that it's not like a home gym. We want it to be somewhere between a fully functioning gym, if it was open to the public, and a PT studio, I guess, sort of thing. So it's not gonna be either of those things, but in your minds, imagine that's what it's going to look like. I would show you some CADs on screen at the moment, but I'm actually going to hold off because we're going to do a whole series on building the gym from the design stage to delivery to the build to the finished product. So do stick around for that. If you haven't yet hit subscribe, then obviously do that right now. But in this space here is going to be something very special that I'm not going to reveal to you just yet, as it's going to be one of the most hilarious yet also intriguing decisions that I will have ever made and shared on the internet. So watch this space and make sure to stick around. But all jokes aside, we are absolutely buzzing to have this. It is going to completely change the game operationally for us. It's going to allow us to engage with our community, engage with you guys as subscribers so much more, and we cannot wait to do that. One of the biggest things that I've missed over the past couple of years with the long ultra endurance stuff is engaging with people, spending more time with people, doing fun community-based things, and having done a few run clubs in London, Edinburgh, just really quite spontaneously this year. I'm really of the opinion that that is something that I want to focus on hard going into 2024. And this space is going to be at the center of that, whether it's online, whether it's in person, whether it's once a month, once a quarter for certain events. We're going to use this space a lot. If you're part of the Omnia Performance community, there will be a way that you can come and join us here for something at some point. So just make sure to stick around and keep an eye out. And if you haven't yet jumped on one of our many training offerings, then you probably should, because you'll be the first to know about when you can come and see the place. So big pinch points are essentially the flooring. We need all of this covered in 40mm matting, which is going to be part of the equipment sort of delivery. Something's being built in that corner just there. That's going to be pretty significant. And the walls. The walls are covered in flaky, potentially lead-based paint, which means that there is going to be a big couple of days of work, estimate 3 days of work, where we're all going to muck in, get some drills with big sort of wire brush attachments and sand these right down so that we get rid of all the flaky paint, so that a friend of mine, Doug, can come in and just spray them down so that they are crispy white and we can get some stuff up there from a decorative point of view. That back wall there, we plan to make a mad artistic sort of statement. So what that looks like, time will tell, but we're going to get really creative with that. White walls, black pillars, black floor, kit's going to be black and white, obviously, and there will be significantly less vehicles in the room once the gym is built. So if you're like me and you struggle to visualize things, there'll be less cars. Other than that, it's just going to be a big shift. This is the room that needs work. The office is pretty plug and play. The friction is in here, and depending on when the gym's getting delivered, we'll set the timeline that we need to work to get everything squared away in terms of the decorative side of things, because we don't want to be doing any painting, we don't want to be doing any sanding, we don't want to be doing any of that stuff once the gym equipment is in. So I don't really know what to say. I'm still a little bit lost for words. This all doesn't feel real. This is a huge, huge step forward for the businesses, for myself, for the channel, for everything going on. We're in a stage now where there's so much to be done that it's hard to sort of start to see the actualization of the reason that we've got this place, but we have this place, and I cannot wait to share it with you online, in person and beyond. Eternally grateful to those of you that watch, because that's a huge part of why we're in this position, but it's also a huge part of why I want to engage with you guys, Omnia athletes, and everybody in between through this space in the future. I can't wait to bring this to life. It's a huge moment for me. I'm kind of confused. It's all wild. And to be talking about sanding down walls, to paint them, to do our own thing with them all seems something that you talk about over a couple of pints and then go back to the day job. But this is actually happening, which is mad. So before I ramble into oblivion, I think I'll call it there and just say that if you are interested to see the space come to life, please do make sure you've hit subscribe. If you have enjoyed the reveal of this as much as I have, then obviously hit like. Comment down below with your thoughts, feelings, questions, suggestions, and or offering of free labor. Cheers. And please do keep an eye out on all socials. Make sure to sign up to the Omnia Performance mailing list in the description down below, as that's where all of the sort of first round of communication go out for us these days. If you want to know about merchandise, if you want to know about the first events that we're doing in here, if you want to know about when we're opening up commercial events for you guys to sort of sign on to next year, then that will all be through the mailing list first and foremost on a first come, first served basis. So be fast or be last, am I right? That's that. This is Omnia Performance and the Modern Mind headquarters. Very happy to have you here. Let's bring this place to life, both physically and in terms of content for you all to see. So once again, lost for words. Thank you very much. Hope you stick around. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoyed seeing what we've got to work with here. Goodbye, double salute, a bit weird, but we move on.